I'm Heather Higgins, one of Randy's two daughters. 25 years ago, my dad returned to the pew after having honored my late mother, Patricia, by somehow managing, despite his great grief, to eulogize her. He sat down next to me, squeezed my leg hard, and said, "That is the hardest thing I have ever done. It is harder than breaking rocks." I don't know how he did it. I knew I couldn't. But now with Dad, I think I can. It's been over 10 years since I realized that Dad no longer knew me, and so it has already been a very long goodbye. His body may no longer be with us, but he lives vividly in my memory. There's his unusual dress. Why use belts when rope will suffice? Polyester pants instead of jeans because jeans wear out too easily. His dislike of ties, leading him to be the bane of club managers everywhere he would turn up in Mexican wedding shirts or anything else without a conventional collar. Many people remember my parents waltzing gracefully around a room, but one of my favorite memories is family nights at Devon Yacht Club when I would be 8 or 10 or 12, with all the other parents at the bar, while mine sat at a table apart, holding hands and playing chess. Then there was Dad's reading preferences, light stuff like chaos theory, the history of Christianity, and electronics and physics textbooks. Or his wish not only to have his ashes scattered at sea, but particularly that it had to be all the way out in the race, which is beyond Gardiner's Island, and more than that, he wants it done in December. But that's Dad, never worried about the conventional, every bit of him marching to his own drummer. We got marched too. When we were very small, as part of our induction into the League to Save Carthage, Dad and Rod's godfather, Uncle Frank Barnett, would outfit us with sock stretchers on our shoulders, acting as facsimile rifles, marching us all over the apartment to the Royal Scots Guards, while Dad smoked his corncob pipe and looked on approvingly. But the core of Dad's character, and perhaps the thing that made him most unusual, was derived from the impact his own father had had on him. Dad talked often about how he had seen his father engage in various significant dealings and transactions based just on his word and a handshake, and that ethos made a deep impression on him and became a model for his own life, a fierce integrity and sense of honor and decency. Most of us like to think we are good and honest, but integrity is only truly tested when doing the right thing is costly to someone's own interest. Dad's father had left a stretch of land to the Audubon Society to be turned into a sanctuary with walking paths and otherwise maintained. Yet nearly 20 years later, Dad, who was not the executor or otherwise responsible, found that they hadn't done anything that they had promised, and indeed were planning on selling the land for a golf course development. Instead of shrugging his shoulders, Dad, at his own time and expense, paid for an investigation into both this specific instance as well as Audubon practices nationally, negotiated with them, argued with them, had articles written about their malfeasance, and even sued them out of his own pocket to no personal gain, just to ensure that they lived up to their end of the bargain. That's integrity. Dad was singularly modest and would have hated being celebrated, but he also believed that that was what funerals and memorial services were for, rejoicing in the wonderful lives lived. And so, in celebrating his many achievements in virtue, let's add this one too. He was a man of high honor, and for that, we honor him.